About the drug allegation, these are all of my documents. You see, this is from George Memorial Medical Center. This is one of the biggest maternity hospital in Lagos here. It's actually in Lekki Phase 1. It's highly recommended by the Indians, the Americans, and the European doctors. This is a clearance for me to travel out of the country. Before you get this clearance as a pregnant woman traveling, you would have to have a toxicology test and every other test so that you don't put the hospital here in trouble. Because if you leave Nigeria and go outside the country and they know that there's a substance in your body, it's not necessarily you. They will find your hospital here and seize their license. So this is a clearance that I was okay to travel and give birth. This is a toxicology report from the biggest hospital in Abuja. This was actually done 2016, just after I gave birth. This is actually the hospital that Muhammad Buhari's first son, when he had a bike accident, this is the hospital that he stayed in, and this is the hospital that I did my test in. If you look closely, it's a toxicology report. All the reports there say is negative. No doctor is going to cover up for me this much. This is an authentic document that can be traced back to the hospital. This is the second toxicology report when I was accused. December 2016, when I was accused by my son's father that I was on drugs and that's why my marriage was ending. He said that because he wanted to divert the whole attention of what he is and what he did. This is the toxicology report. On there, I don't know if you can see it, it says all negative. I'm sure it will come up on the screen. Now, this is the hospital I gave birth to in Houston, Texas. It's called West Houston. And this is all their report. This test, they run all of this tests on you once you come in as a patient till you give birth, until after you give birth. It contains toxicology report, it contains any other sickness you've had, it contains anything that you hide in your body, it just contains everything. Now, America is not Nigeria, right? If you give birth and you are on drugs, they will take your baby because that baby, my child is not Nigerian. I mean, he has a Nigerian passport, but he's American. They will take him away from me. I would not be allowed to come near that boy until I rehabilitate myself. There was no issue like that. This is a toxicology report from one of the biggest and the best maternity hospital in Houston, in America actually, West Houston Medical Center. So yes, all of the reports about drugs was all a lie. My son's father wanted to use a drug allegation to mess or to hide all of the things, all of the domestic violence, because when the story of us breaking up came out, it didn't come out as domestic violence first. I'd never told anybody about that. It came out as somehow the bloggers got to know about him cheating with his staff his staff in his office and also to the actress. So that was how everything blew up. So because they wanted to hide that shame, they said, you know what, let's go for something that the world will believe that Tonto does. Let's go for something that the world will believe that, oh, she can do or is believable. Because even in court, I have my court papers here, I am granted custody of my son. And there was no debate whatsoever from his lawyers or himself. Now I'm thinking, right, if I have a wife that is a drug addict, I would fight her in court just to take my son away from her. I would fight her so that she would not be around my son. Just like I think that he is a spirit, as in he's diabolic. And that's why I presented my case to the court. And that's why they said, you are not allowed to come near your son if your wife does not put someone close to you that she alone can trust. So he has very strict supervised visitation on my son. That's because I was able to prove how diabolic he is in court. And he never mentioned anything about, oh, she's on drugs, let's take the child. In fact, He even told the court, give her custody of the boy. So, no drugs. No drugs hide in your body. Every drug, even cannabis, when you smoke cannabis, it stays in your body for 3 whole months. No doctor can take it off away. No medication, no detox can take it away from your system. They will catch you. It is real. None here. Never on drugs, darling. Yes, I gave the court substantial amount of proof. I'm just going to show you just a little bit of one. Of some things I would wake up and find under my pillow, under my son's bed, on top of my son's novel. This is a conversation between myself and my son's father's younger brother when I was saying that they need to come and take this shit out of my home because I've left him now. I've divorced him already. So I said they need to come and break whatever curse is on this shit. And I gave the court, yes, the court actually does not admit diabolism, but the strength of my accusation make them worry for concern about my child because it's a boy's life. If I can speak and I can talk and this is all they did to me, I would wake up. His mother was, we were married for, he said we were married for, that we lived together for 6 months, but we lived together for 10 months after marriage because I came back from America 2 months after I gave birth, February. 2 months was February, March, April, and I divorced him, and I left his house by December. So that's 9-10 months, right? So he said it was 6 months. I don't know where his head was though, but he said it was 6 months, and I'm saying it was 9-10 months that we lived together. And in that 9 to 10 months, his mother was there maybe like 5 times, and she would stay for like maybe 2 weeks. It's okay. Family is okay. I did not worry about that. My concern was the spiritual artifact that this woman would bring into the house all the time. That was only the time when I became defensive or I became disrespectful to any member of his family when it came to that, because I always spoke up. I never kept quiet about it. I always spoke up. So we always had fights about it. I also have documents of him telling me how he wants to go back. I'm sure all of those things will come up on this thing. How he wants to, how he was going to borrow money from me so he can go and do some jazz. I have all the documents here. Because he has a daughter already who he says that he doesn't have. He came out and said that he has no child apart from Sking. This man has a child. And the mother of this child is jealously protecting the girl not to even be close to them, because we all know, for one, I got married to him, so I know who he is. Churchill is a very selfish, manipulative person. This is a man that would insult his own mother, call her all sorts of names, treat her as though she was a scum, or reply her. He's a terrible person, so to speak. He's a very terrible person. And the only thing he cares about, and that's why anytime we fought, anytime he hit me and he beat me, I would always go to his jazz drawer, I would break his jazz, or I would go to his clothes where he has his designers. I would break them, or I would break his laptop, because I know that was the only thing that affected him. And I can remember clearly, he said it in his interview, the first time, we still with the same Azuka. And I also have documents of me telling Azuka, there's a document here. I said, Azuka, I'm born again and I would not lie that I never broke properties. Anytime I was beaten, my revenge was to go back and break everything. So yes, I broke properties. I destroyed properties. He can do anything to anybody because he wants to be rich. There's actually something, I'm not going to say, I will wait to be pushed. I will wait to be pushed. There is something I saw between him and his mother. But I will wait, Churchill, to be pushed. I have said it once in a message. It was there. Maybe people will forget about it. But I will wait to be pushed. Now, 41919 Yahoo. You know, you go online, you dupe white women, you go online, you dupe people. That's what my son's father does. I'm not proud of it. I'm saying, I told you, I said this interview is mainly not for Nigerians. I want my son to grow. I'm not the kind of mother that is going to hide things from her son. No, my son would know everything and the whole truth. I'm not going to lie to him, but then I'm not going to hide things from him. So yes, my son's father is a fraud. He does Yahoo. How I know? Because I caught him in the middle of a red candle with laptop in his lap and a red pants on and a red cloth tied around his waist. Not just that. I mean, coming from the house we stayed in when I was married to him, this man told everybody that he bought the house. He didn't buy this house. This house was rented. This approved that it was rented. This approved of conversation between me and the agent when the agent did not do something right in the house. I told him how much we paid for rent. Everything is there. I told him how much he paid for rent, and this is a conversation of the landlord himself. This is a conversation from the landlord himself. He said, look at it. This here is from the landlord. So, different things. I know he's 419 because I know he's 419. It's on the streets. Go to Ghana and ask about him. He says he's into IT. Please, what has he done? What is the IT? Let me know. What IT work has this man done? Why would you buy a car and your name is not on the car? You see how this thing about the fraud money? You see, I've leaded him to know a few things. When they cannot bring in money into Nigeria from fraud, they buy cars. So it is very easy for you to say a Yahoo boy has cars. But it is very hard for you to say a Yahoo boy has properties, and that's one thing that was his problem. When he's out of money for so long, Yahoo does not pay for so long, immediately the Yahoo pays, he wants to buy clothes, he wants to buy this, he forgets to invest. Even the house in Ghana that this man told me, lied to me, that he owns the house in Ghana. Now this is a message. This is a message between I and the agent. The agent came to my page on Instagram to embarrass the life out of me. Called me a very dirty woman. Called me how disgusting I and my ex-husband was. I only got to read it and read it and read it. This is the agent who rented the house this man lied that he bought in Ghana. The man even told me in this message, he said, your son's clothes are lying down everywhere. I didn't know that my son's father had taken his property and ran